Namaste. How are you guys? The light in me recognizes the light in you. So I'm back on here and I'm going to do a reading from Buddha. These are messages from Buddha and they're pretty interesting. I was reading them the other day and I was like, wow, these are really good messages. I need to be reading these more often. So we'll see what Buddha has to say to us to help us grow. I really love Buddha. I like these cards, actually really pretty to stack. And some, what was it by? I'll show you real quick. By Sofan Chan, I'm probably not saying that right. Wisdom for peace, love, and happiness. So, if y'all want that, you could look. Yeah, so just ask Buddha, like, what 3 things, past, present, and future, what have we grown from? What are we need to focus on? And what are we working on now? Okay. So loving kindness. This is like past. So when we feel love and kindness towards others, it not only makes others feel loved and cared for, but it also helps us to develop inner happiness and peace. So loving kindness is the distilled essence of pure love, okay? As you open your heart, you're able to love the unlovable. Oh, so you've been learning how to love the unlovable. And some of you felt like the unlovable person was yourself. So you're learning how to love yourself, who in the past you might have felt like you were unlovable. But Buddha's helping you to realize that you are lovable and that there are a lot of people who feel unlovable in the universe and in the space around you. And part of your life's purpose collective is to help those unlovable people feel loved. So you're here to spread love. You bring joy to sadness, faith to doubt, and light to darkness. So it's crazy because I just did a reading talking about how there's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the next few weeks and how important it is for you, collective, to be the light, okay? So yeah, you need to bring joy to the sad ones, people who are sad, okay? And faith to the people who doubt, and light to darkness. So you have to take light to the darkest places, collective. That's why you're here. This is something you've been working on in the past. This is something you've been realizing, the importance of love and being kind. And being kind to yourself. I really feel like, collective, you in the past have maybe been loving and kind to other people sometimes, but not always so loving and kind to yourself. So you're learning how to love yourself, to be kind for yourself, to not think that you don't deserve love, because you do deserve love. And as you do that, you'll heal yourself more. Now, I'm going to look this one up. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to see if anything jumps out in the book jumps out at me in the book. Yeah. So you can say this mantra. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in body and mind, and may I be at ease and happy. Okay, so try to be at ease and happy. Loving kindness is an all-encompassing act. It is fueled by our inner strength and unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, patience, and many other noble human traits. So it's important, collective, that you work on being noble, patient, kind, okay? And being forgiving. And that means being patient with yourself, kind to yourself, also forgiving yourself, okay, for what you think you did or didn't do. Loving kindness is the distilled essence of pure love. As you open your heart, you're able to love the unlovable. So it's really important that you open your heart and think of the people in your life right now who are the most unlovable people people that you do not want to love, people that are a pain in your neck, a pain in your rear end. And try to think about loving those unlovable people. Okay? That's hard to do. Bring joy to sadness, faith to doubt. We already talked about that. Bring pain to sorrow and into the light. Feelings of anger, self-pity, or even grief will gradually dissolve as you nurture them with your pure love. So those people who you think are unlovable, who are in self-pity, who are angry all the time, yeah, those are the ones who are always grieving and always playing the victim role. Those are the ones that Buddha is asking you to forgive and to try to be noble towards them, okay? To take the higher road. That's what Buddha wants you to do, okay? And as you do that, you're going to replenish yourself, okay? If you when you do this, you're going to be raising the consciousness, okay? As you love unlovable people, or what you feel to be unlovable people, you raise the consciousness of humanity, okay? And you cultivate loving kindness towards yourself, okay? And you help people to pursue happiness. So you're supposed to reflect in which areas of your life are you critical or judgmental of yourself. That's what I was saying. In the past, you've been overly critical and judgmental of yourself. So it starts with loving you. It starts with forgiving you. It starts with realizing that you have to be more merciful to yourself and forgiving. And as you do that, then you need to start thinking about the people in your life that are like the biggest hurdles for you, the most difficult people, the ones you're like, I don't know. And start trying to change your thoughts towards those people in your life, okay? And you raise your consciousness. Using your answer to the questions above, meditate, cultivate this loving kindness mantra daily, and the pain and fear will disappear. Because, you know, the people that are the most angry and the bullies and all those kind of people, they're the people who need love the most, right? And as divine beings, we're supposed to be cultivating that, okay? So, love is what we're working on. It's hard. It's easy to love people, like Jesus said. It's easy to love people that are nice to you. But it's really hard to love people that are not nice to you. That's why, you know, loving your enemy is a very noble thing to do, because it's not easy. Okay, equanimity. I find hope in the darkest of days, okay? And I focus in the brightness. I do not judge the universe. So, what you consider to be dark or difficult is actually something you're not supposed to be judging. And that's like what Jesus, Buddha, and all these ascended masters tell us, not to judge others, because we don't know. Because sometimes that dark, difficult thing can actually bring light, healing, and love. Like the tower in the tarot. Like the tower has to crumble and be destroyed in order to rebuild back. So, you know, that's why it's important for us to have equanimity. Equanimity embodies forging ahead with an unshakable courage to experience all circumstances that come your way. Okay? All circumstances, without judging them as good or bad, right or wrong, gain or loss, so that you will not be disturbed by your own negative emotions. Nothing can then spin you out of your calm center. So, be in the eye of the storm. Even though the storm is going crazy, everything's going crazy around you, be the calm, be the peace, don't allow those things, don't judge them as good or bad or gain or loss or whatever. Just allow things to come, to flow over you and flow into your life, because everything that's happening in your life is not happening to you, it's happening for you, because sometimes a big loss can actually be a huge spiritual gain. An earthly loss can be a spiritual gain. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I was saying in another reading, certain rejections can be God's protection. So like your car breaking down one day could save your life, because had you gone, maybe you would have gotten hit by a truck and died. Like, there's things that we're not even aware of that could be saving and protecting us. So it's important for us to not judge things as good or bad, and to just say, this is happening for me, this is part of my life, and change your perspective. It's hard to do sometimes, I know, because this world is so easy to get lost in just like the three-dimensional way of thinking of like, well, this is bad, this is good, this is black, this is white, I'm fat, this is skinny, this is beauty, this is not beauty. Like, but really, there's so many, different ways of seeing beauty, seeing everything. And that's why they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you have to be the beholder, and you have to behold things in a more optimistic, more open-minded way, okay? That's what you're working on. So pure effort. Enlightenment is not your birthright. Those who succeed do so only through proper effort. Yeah, so this is about you putting in the work. Like I said, being loving and kind requires effort, especially to people who are very unlovable. It requires work, and you have to stay calm. Even when someone's really agitating you and really like stirring things up and poking the bear, you have to really work and put in pure effort in order to stay in the light, okay? Yeah, so consider all spiritual teachings as an intellectual exercise to be practiced daily. Requires daily practice. Just like brushing your teeth is required. You don't just brush your teeth when you feel like it. You do it daily. And it's the same with spirituality. You have to practice it daily, okay? And diligently and with discipline. The constant effort to maintain your daily practice is central to all spiritual practices that bring about personal transformation. So as you do these things, you will transform yourself, but it requires discipline, okay? And I'm going to look up this one because I just feel like there could be some really interesting, I might want to turn the book the right way though. Interesting things on here about pure effort. Many spiritual masters were inspired to walk the Buddha path, okay? Because they saw how the Buddha understood the mind and freed his heart from all kinds of human suffering. So that's part of your spiritual, because people are always like, well, what do you mean by shadow work and all that? All that work of healing is learning how to help stop human suffering. Okay? Purity of effort refers to the mental effort required to understand the nature of the world in relation to your own life experience. Moreover, you are encouraged to practice daily, diligently, and with discipline. Your conscious effort, indomitable inner strength, and unshakable commitment will bring about lightness when you encounter darkness, hope when experiencing self-doubt and disappointment, love when faced with hatred, and joy instead of sadness. So this goes back to we always have a choice. We always have a choice. We can choose sadness or we can try to choose happiness. It's like when you go to a funeral and some people are like really sad and they're grieving and that happens, but then other people want it to be like a celebration of life. and they see it as more like a celebration of this person's life and their achievements and the new transition of them going. A lot of times they were suffering when they were dying and they were in pain or they were elderly, and like we're celebrating the life that they lived here, the things they did here, and then we're celebrating their transition instead of being like, oh, just so sad and distraught. Like, it's all about how you choose to handle the things that you come across in your life, right? So it's a practice. So you want to bring, when there's darkness, you want to be the light. You want to be hope whenever people are, you know, feeling doubt and disappointment. So when people are being hateful and nasty, try to give them joy. Try to be joyful, because as you do that, you really change the world and the people around you. And you know, just really help to raise the vibration, which is what we're trying to do, right? So maintain your daily practice, and that's central to your spiritual practice, okay? And if you want to transform, you have to really put effort into this. And you have to just, when you know you slip up and you don't handle the situation right, you need to reflect on it, maybe journal about it. Ask yourself, what can I do different next time? How could I grow? How can this situation help me grow? How can I help those around me grow? Okay. Yeah, and it will enable you to be aware and awake to each moment in terms of how you live your life. And the pure constant effort leads to self-mastery, okay? So if you want to master yourself, you start by mastering just small situations, small encounters with people. So have you ever forced something to happen in an unskillful way for your own benefit and cause unhappiness to others? So think about that. That's like manipulation. It's like when someone doesn't want to do something and you try to force them to do something that they don't want to do. You know, you're not helping that person because you don't want to like force somebody to believe how you believe, or force someone to eat something they don't want to eat, or force someone to go a place that they don't want to go, because then you're not allowing them the freedom in their own free will to do it what makes them feel joyful and happy. So, you know, that's kind of like being controlling. It's important not to control others. Let go of those control issues and let those people live life the way they want to and on their own terms. Okay? Write down a list of the areas of your life where you have applied your skillful effort and it has benefited yourself and others. Okay? But it's important to remember, being enlightened is not your birthright. It's something that requires work. You're not entitled to it. You have to daily practice the meditation and practice, like I said, being the light, being joyful, being positive, vibrating high. And you can do it. It's hard sometimes, especially with all things going on in the world. But as you do that, you will really enhance your spiritual growth and your spiritual path. You know, it's kind of like do all things without murmuring and complaining. Next time you want to complain, think of something else you can do. Try to see the situation from a different point of view, okay? Because we need more optimism. We need more positive talk. We just need more encouragement. We need people who are willing to uplift one another. And collective, that's what I think you are doing. It's going to start by like loving yourself, helping. And when you see someone who really is acting in a very unloving way, try to be somebody who can bridge and like kind of pull them over, pull them more into the light. So try to take the people who are in the darkness and bridge them and pull them more into the light. Okay, collective. That's what you're doing. That's what you're working on. And I'm really proud of you. And I'm proud of me because we are light workers here to make the world a better place while we're living here. Okay? Thanks for coming to my channel. I love you guys. Y'all are the best. Good night. Or whenever you see this, good whatever. Good life.